Hello everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to turn a page that looks like this into one that looks like this. So the first step is to copy this unformatted text here, and we're going to go into ChatGPT and we're going to paste in that boring text that's not formatted, and then at the end we're going to add this prompt. So we're asking ChatGPT to generate HTML structure for our content without changing the original text. We want this to include accessible headers, paragraphs, and lists, and we'll send that off. And good old ChatGPT is spitting out the code. And this looks good. We got a paragraph, we got some headers, we got some lists. It all looks good. I'm going to copy it and we'll put it into our Canvas page by clicking Edit, switching to the HTML by using the angled brackets in the lower right corner, and pasting in that code that we copied from ChatGPT. And when we switch back, we can see that it's looking much better so far. We got our headings, we got our lists, but we can go a step further. So let's go back to ChatGPT, and we're going to add some styling. So I'm going to enter the prompt. So the prompt we're going to add says that we want to put the objectives and to-do sections in boxes with light colored backgrounds and borders, and we want ChatGPT to do that in the HTML using inline CSS, and don't put any CSS in the head tags. Okay, so let's copy this code and we'll try it out and see what it looks like in Canvas. And that looks pretty good. We have our headers and we have a couple boxes here. If you wanted to, you can ask ChatGPT to make the border around these boxes a little thicker, add some color. Let's go ahead and try that out. And the prompt that I'm using is pretty generic. I'm just saying please make the borders light blue and much thicker. So let's try that. And if you look at the bottom, ChatGPT always explains what they do. So in this case, they've made the border light blue, solid, and 3 pixels in width. And it even tells us that we can adjust that 3 pixel value if we want it thicker. So let's go ahead and copy the code and see what that looks like. That looks pretty good. We have a nice blue border around our boxes. So far this is looking much better than the before. If we look at the before, it's pretty hard to read and not very accessible there. But this one, we have our headers, lists, and our nice boxes. Makes it kind of pop a little more. Let's go one step further, and we're going to ask for some icons next to the objectives and to-do headers. So I'll paste in the prompt. And this prompt is a little more specific. It says, can you add some appropriate icons next to the objectives and to-do headers using HTML entities directly within the HTML tags? But let's go ahead and try it. And I really like the way that ChatGPT kind of explains the code. Even inside the code, you can see here's our objectives tag, this red series of numbers and symbols. That's the icon code. And you can even see ChatGPT has given a little note saying this is going to be a book icon and this is going to be a checkmark icon. So that's awesome that it does that. We'll copy the code. Let's go back into Canvas and we'll paste this in. Hopefully it works. Now we have the objectives with a little book icon, and the to-do list has a checkmark icon. I would rather have these icons on the other side. And I could just copy and paste them over, but let's let ChatGPT do that. So I'm going to just say, can you move the icons to the left of the headers? And there you go, it's done that. So I'll copy the code and we'll try this. And I think this is going to be the last thing we're going to get from ChatGPT. Yeah, that looks awesome. I'm pretty happy with this. We could go further and just get crazy with it, but again, I just want it to look kind of better than before, which I believe it does look much better than this. And it's nice that we don't really have to be masters of HTML and figure all this out. You can kind of ask ChatGPT to figure that out for you. One thing I'll note is that ChatGPT is going to start off the headings with a heading 1 and then move down to a heading 2 for these other headings. And in Canvas, you always want to start on a heading 2 just because Canvas makes the page title or the item title an automatic heading 1. So for accessibility purposes, you're going to want to change those yourself. We could ask ChatGPT to do this, but I found that that kind of confuses the AI. So let's just do it manually. I'm going to click on that first heading in there and just change it to a heading 2. The objectives I'm going to change to a heading 3, and the to-do I'm going to change to a heading 3. So let's save the page. So please go ahead and play around with ChatGPT and Canvas and see what you come up with. Thanks for watching.